Hello and welcome to the Binge Thinker for another week. My name is Jamil Raymond. It's an absolute pleasure to have you here as always, coming to you yet again from Tulum. If you're watching the video version, you've got a fantastic view of my room for where I've been the last week. Also shirtless again. You're welcome. It's stinking hot here, very sweaty. I've had to do this from the inside of my hotel room facing outwards because it's really windy outside. So this is the best that I could do with the situation. The lighting is going to be pretty shit on my face, but honestly, the view behind me is way worth it. It's a much better view than my face. On this week, just wanted to catch up on where I've been here in Tulum, folks. Just unwinding, transitioning, not in the way that you'd expect or have come to know and appreciate thanks to all the buzzwords in society lately. Just, man, taking it easy. Here in Tulum. It's a beautiful place. Been very brown. I'm very keen to see actually what I look like tan-wise between last episode and this episode because I feel like I am quite brown, and which is a good thing. I've been close to sunburn a couple of times. I've had to apply some sunscreen while I'm here. I've tried to avoid it because we all know sunscreen creates cancer, bro. And there's lead in the water, and there's poison in everything. The systems are collapsing, man. They're collapsing. They really are, but, it still sounds like hippie garbage until, I don't know, a mass extinction event. I don't know. We'll figure it out. But yeah, man, this is my last day in Tulum. I'm recording this on the Sunday, the 21st. Literally in the last hour before I check out for the day. I check out from the hotel. My bus to Cancun is until about 3 o'clock, which is good. I can chill out, enjoy some beach time, chill out in the sun for a little bit longer. And just take it in. Really take it in. It's been a lovely week here. Tulum is gorgeous as far as the weather and the natural beauty of it. Oh, it's tropical, it's jungly, fantastic turquoise blue water. Like, I could definitely hang out here again and spend some time here. It could be a little side spot to spend some time for a few weeks when I start nomading sometime soon in the near future. But what have I been up to this week? Man, just chilling out, being a tourist, being a turista. Checked out Chichen Itza on Tuesday. One of the modern 7 wonders of the world. You can probably hear that bird squawking behind me. Heaps of amazing, different, varied wildlife here. Before I get too distracted, there was this giant cricket that with these antenna that was longer than its body. A cricket probably the size of your thumb, just rocked up on my balcony. And had these long ass feelers, and I was out getting water at about 11 p.m. because the water's not drinkable here. You have to have filtered water, so they have a little jug for you. And this thing freaked me the fuck out. I was like, "What is that?" Because you realize, like, it's not like Australia where we have bugs and shit, but it's just It's different. The bugs, you know what I mean? Bugs do ick me a little bit. Animals I'm not too concerned about because they seem a little bit more reasonable, I guess. I don't know, maybe just the higher form. But there's something about the bug in general. Even though it's got tiny little pincers, you're just scared it's got some weird poison or it's just going to fuck you up in some exotic way that you do not want. Yeah, I do get a little bit icky around bugs. But there's lots of little skinks and lizards around here. Great diversity of different animals. They have raccoons here. So my first raccoon, which was pretty cool, eating dog food at a restaurant. And then they have this guati, which is a Mexican cousin of the raccoon, but looks pretty similar. It looks like a lemur and a raccoon mixed together. Cool shit. Anyway, again, distracted. Chichen Itza, man. Cool place. Like I said, one of the modern 7 wonders of the world. Did a couple of tours. This is a day tour to Chichen Itza. A lot of fun. Got to know this lovely girl who was also on their own spiritual path. Had done a lot of the inner work and was in their own little lane doing their own thing. And it's really nice. That's one of the nice things about Tulum. It does have a spiritual community. We're going to talk about a great place called Holistica a little bit shortly. But yeah, it does have seekers. There is this community of spiritual people out here that are trying to work on themselves, trying to better themselves, and do have that connection to God, to Source, and it's lovely, man. Like you don't really get that much in Australia, and I think you do to a degree, but I think there is this. I don't know. There's still this small town mentality around a fair chunk of it in Australia. I think it seems like such a minority because it's such a masculinized society, Australia. And if it's not, if it's not sport or gambling or drinking, it's fucking gay. Just my thoughts. But yeah, it was just good to find someone that I related to quite a deep level. We basically spent a lot of the van rides there just talking about the inner work and the things we had done, and our own realizations through the process, which was really, really nice. But Chichen Itza, beautifully crafted pyramid. Again, a lot of the Mesoamericans and all these ancient civilizations have technologies, have manpower, have capabilities us in the modern world do not have. And there's certainly plenty to explore out there, more than this, brick and mortar bullshit or, you know, our technology it's useful. Don't get me wrong, it's immensely useful, but it lacks soul. And I feel like the technologies that these ancient civilizations had, who understood vibration and frequency, energy, knew how to leverage that to their advantage and use those natural laws of the universe to their advantage. They were onto something that we weren't. Although we can create major amounts of leverage compared to what they could still do some pretty gargantuan things that we can't. And it's got some fantastic history there. The Mayans, pretty cool people, do some weird shit. They used to shape their head. They used to it kind of freaked me out. Like a haircut, like a flat top, like Bart Simpson's head, or Gerald from Hey Arnold. So they got that squarish head. The nobles of the Mayans used to shape their baby skulls using like a bamboo reed and this little doohickey that they would do to literally shape their skulls into like a square format. So it literally looks like a flat top. And I was like, bro, humans do weird shit. Like when we complain about like piercings and like those ear stretcher lobe shit. Every civilization is doing weird things to their body as a forms of decoration, as a forms of nobility, as a form of identity, as a form of status. Like, we are just a bunch of fucking monkeys, quasi-evolved monkeys, figuring shit out and all doing different variations of the same shit. But, with the Chichen Itza, there was a powerful energy that came from the pyramid. You could sense it. Like, you weren't allowed to go into the pyramid itself. They stopped doing that, I think, about like 15, 20 years ago, maybe even a little bit later. But previous to then, like, people have just been chipping rocks off the pyramid, which is, I think, disrespectful. And yeah, like, people used to just run up it and run down it. Like, I think there are just certain places, particularly things that are sacred, and are monoliths and beautiful historical artifacts, just need to be respected and left to the experts to fiddle around with. Because again, it's very likely you're fucking around with technologies and things that are beyond our comprehension or knowledge. Like they talk about like like the Mummy, the movie The Mummy, where it's like you open up the sarcophagus and these beetles come out, or there's some sand traps and shit like that that'll royally fuck you up. I'm just like, yep, I shall leave that to other people, to other experts to get in front of. I don't want any bad juju. I don't want any bad karma. Let me just appreciate it from a distance. And, if there is permissions, I wonder what the Mayans think about it. Like the locals, not that there's any Mayans now, but it's the bloodlines and, the wisdom keepers, the elders that are around still, if any. What are their thoughts on it? Because, I just imagine that just people treating it like a fucking playground, which I think is quite disrespectful. But hey, that's me. What do you do? Yeah, with Chichen Itza, also went to a cenote. I didn't realize that. A cenote is basically like an underground, sorry, an underground lake or river. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. These cenotes. I mean, just the water in the Caribbean. I think the Caribbean is like one of my favorite spots in the world. I gotta be an island boy, man. I am a full-on island boy. I need sun, I need sea, I need fresh, light food, good fruit. This is the vibe for me. I just love going to places like that, and I do wonder if I've always thought about retiring around the beach, getting a beach house somewhere. So that could be it. Well, I mean, I think I'm pretty set on that, but where, right? Wouldn't mind checking out Jamaica. I'm so close to Cuba. That'd be so fucking cool to check out, man. A couple of the girls that I met in Mexico City had just come from Cuba, and they thought it was delightful, and I think it'd be great too. Just to check out the culture and the time machine that Cuba is pre-capitalism, right? It is a communist dictatorship. Hang on, again, as per usual, doing a tech check, just making sure that we're all above board here, as we are, of course, resuming the podcast. But yeah, all those old cars. I had a Cuban cigar here, which is nice. I remember when I used to smoke cigars when I thought it was cool. When I was like 18, 19, 20. Ugh, didn't know didn't inhale it. You weren't supposed to inhale it. You didn't. And then I was like, oh, this shit fucked me up. But yeah, I thought there's something about a Cuban cigar. I don't know. I think it's because it was sort of like demonized or popularized that the Cubans know how to make a damn good cigar. So I bought one yesterday. Just enjoying my last night here, and felt good, man. It actually does. It's nice. It's contemplative. There is an aspect of you being a big boss when you smoke a cigar. I think there's a great bit between Larry David and Jerry Seinfeld on Comedians in Cars Getting Coffee, where they talk about the difference between a cigar and a cigarette. A cigar is contemplative, it's slow, it's intentional. When you move it around, because it's big, the size of it and the fact that you take your time enjoying the cigar. It's like it's like on Seinfeld when he talks about like when you eat an apple, if you talk while eating an apple, you somehow seem smarter. If you're talking with a pear or an apple, just some sort of large fruit. I think it only applies to pears and apples. I'm thinking like if it would apply to a peach, no. A nectarine, no. Plum, no. It definitely has to be an apple, probably a pear. I'll give it that. But there is something that sort of gives it a certain energy, a certain enjoyment, a certain slowness, contemplation that you don't get with a cigarette. Was what they would say. It's like a cigarette. It's rushed. You need the nicotine. You're out there having a cigarette break. You've got 5 minutes. Oh, I needed that. All right, back to work. Holy shit, you're flicking it down. But again, there's something about the cigarette also looked kind of cool, right? Although I haven't had a cigarette in fucking ages. I'm done with darts. I haven't really drank here either. I'm not to say that I'm completely done with alcohol, but I haven't needed alcohol. I don't really need alcohol to have a good time. But then again, I smoke weed, so that's my difference, right? Although I've only smoked weed once here. It was given to me by a lovely gentleman, an older gentleman. I was walking back from Tulum Jungle Gym, which was I think on the Wednesday. And Tulum Jungle Gym is pretty cool. Like it's an entire gymnasium. I don't know. I said the whole word on the main Tulum beach, and all of the equipment, like all the weights, are made with either wood, stone, or rock. So it's got it looks like a proper. It looks like if Tarzan had a gym, right? If George of the Jungle had a gym, which is basically Tarzan, I suppose. So yeah, it was pretty cool. But it is. You're there to work out, and you're there for the gram. You're there to get a fucking couple of cool shots, and they know it because they charge you $60 Australian, 600 pesos, for one session. And I was like, ugh. All right, I'll do it for the experience. It was good to work out because I haven't really worked out over the last 2 weeks while I've been here, which I've realised is not a good idea. Again, one of the recurring lessons from traveling is that when I go overseas, all my systems just sort of just discard them all. I'm like, oh, I'm resting. I don't need to do all this shit. No, you do, you idiot, because your biochemistry relies on it, which is required for you to maintain good mental health. So yeah, definitely had a few clouds in the mind over the last few days, and that could be through a variety of things. But keeping the basic physical systems in check is the constant lesson. So I've gotten better at that. But with the Tulum jungle gym, yeah, man, it was cool. One of the things I've really, I think I've talked about this earlier, but just the addictive nature of flesh that I have. And I've talked about being a bit of an addict in the past in previous episodes, which is the immature lover archetype. And I can certainly notice it, man. Like, again, just so many attractive bodies around, so many gorgeous women looking hot as shit in awesome bikinis, tits are out, asses are out, and good fucking on them. I'm looking and I'm enjoying it all, but I was just literally feel like, I'm pretty sure I did that last week or the week before. But yeah, it just gets you. And then what I've realized is that I am intimidated by other men sometimes, especially like big, bulky, physical men. Even though I am a bit of a bulky dude myself, I think it's just from being a kid and, just being a pudgy little child that used to get bullied by and always feeling weak and not feeling very strong. So, and, just being a little bit intimidated by bigger men. And I have to get over that because, yeah, sure, you might be a big meathead, but most of the meatheads I know are pretty chill people, actually, because they get all their rage and their bullshit out in the actual workout itself, and they're pretty relaxed and very polite people. But yeah, when you're in this room, like this gym, this outdoor gym in the sun, surrounded with all these fit bodies, even though I've got one myself, don't get me wrong, I wasn't a schlub by any stretch of the imagination, but yeah, that little kid comes out, that, the intimidated, pudgy, soft little kid comes out and goes, oh, I don't know if I should be here. But then, there's a lot, I'm, bigger than not a lot, but a few of the guys there. A few of them are probably on juice. But, you do you, boo. You've been there, fuck that. And then, yeah, it's fucking so hard just not to look at gorgeous women all day and just sit there. I mean, again, said this many times, but thank fuck for the sunglasses, bro. Thank fuck. And I'm sure women are having a look at me as well. Don't get me wrong. I'm looking like a fucking Mexican Adonis right now. I'm getting, the wavy hair's looking good. Got a nice tan. Body's in good shape. Like, I'm looking good myself. And again, I think people, as I do get a few looks, and then I think there's a few ladies that are sort of impart this, ooh, he could be a mysterious Hispanic lover. And then I go, what's going on, dickheads? Sort of ruin their fantasy the moment I open my mouth. Oh, what do you do? What do you do? Oh, yeah, so I was talking about the jungle gym. Yeah, $60. Fucking hell, man. $60 at the jungle gym, which was fine the first time, but then I paid it again yesterday, and that one hurt. It's not that I can't afford it. I can afford everything that I'm doing. But it's just $60, man. $60 fucking dollars. I know it's touristy, and I know it's a good gimmick. Good on you, but fuck, bro. For a casual session, $60. But it was the only gym that was open in the area. I was like, yeah, again, I'm on holiday. I got enough money to get me by. Just your mental health is worth more than $60. So I paid it again. Didn't get any grams this time. Just did the work. Helped other people with their Instagrams. They've got some pretty cool, like pulley systems. So instead of, if you go to the gym and you do like a cable row, it's like those plates and you put the pin in it. What they've got is these big baskets and they're on rope, like very thick rope with wooden pulleys systems. It's looks great. Looks great. Well designed. And they've got these big baskets with small rope nets that are full of rocks that are certain weights, Or you can just put, one of them has this really big basket that could fit like 2 people in there. So what a lot of people do is that, if there's a couple, they'll put the women in the basket and the men will do pull-ups with the pulley system, and it looks cool. It does look cool. And then, so there were some ladies that were just there together, and they were like, oh, I can't do this because it's too heavy to do for yourself. But with some effective knowledge of physics and understanding that how pull-ups work and how your muscles work, if you do a pull-up, the extension, so, when you're releasing the pull-up and hanging down slowly, you're actually stronger in that position. So I helped a couple of ladies pull the weight down to their chests, and then they get the cool shot of them doing the pull-up with their friend in the basket. So they still get the nice little Instagram shot, whilst, not being strong enough to lift that sort of weight. And I don't expect them to, right? There's women there that are like 65 kilos, maybe less, probably, 50 to 65 kilos of some varying degree. A lot of fake tits here, by the way. I've noticed that as well. Lots of fake tits. They wouldn't add much more than, half a kilo. If you're fucking, that's actually a lot of tit, half a kilo of tit. Whew. But there have been, some kilo titties hanging around here. But yeah, just people having a good time, getting the gram, the aesthetic. I'm part of it too, I had my shirt off at the gym the first time around. No, both times actually, because I was like, fuck it, let me enjoy this. Right? If you told me, at the start of this journey 4 years ago that I'd be flexing at a beach in Tulum, Mexico, and, looking juicy naturally and looking fucking like a nice, again, Mexican Adonis, I'd be very happy about it. So I'm like, fuck it, let me live. Let me fucking live. What else has been happening? Oh, yeah, so on Friday, actually, what else did I do? I went to something called Shan Khan Biosphere as well, which was lovely. It's a big natural reserve here around the Caribbean, a big biosphere with, they say, 9 different sort of microclimates inside this, basically a giant national reserve, which was pretty neat. And yeah, that was fun. Got to see some amazing animals in nature up front. Saw a nurse shark when we went snorkeling. I was arm's length from a giant sea turtle, man. So cool. Love a turtle. And man, while we were boating around in these like shallowish Caribbean waters, this turquoise blue, it's so warm to the touch. Got the sun beating down on you, and then it's just, I think it's the gate to the sky, I think they call it. And basically, yeah, you just, if you look out into the horizon, you've got these turquoise blue waters that sort of slowly fade into this bright blue sky. So it was, amazing. Beautiful scenes, beautiful scenes. I saw a barracuda as well, a bunch of cool different birds that they've got, a couple of dolphins. And yeah, those sea turtles, man, in the shallow waters, I must have seen like 20, you just see their shells like just powering through the water. And those fucking turtles can haul ass, dude. Like we were in a boat, like an 8-person boat, doing some decent speeds to get around. And these turtles, they're keeping up. And you wouldn't think it when these turtles are like literally, like think about I'm talking like a giant sea turtle, like probably, what's a good, maybe like the size of a suitcase, since I'm looking at my suitcase right now. Like imagine a turtle, the shell the size of when you go like a checked bag at an airport, a shell that big fucking turtles, hauling ass, just in the water, just pumping and scooting away. Good on them. Cool things. Love a turtle. Got to see the top of a manatee as well, which is a sea cow. They eat a lot of sea grass and stuff. Only got to see their nose and the snout, but still, again, it does feel like I go on these little expeditions, and it honestly, like, this is how much of a fucking dweeb I am, and how much time I spent inside compared to outside. But for me, seeing these animals in the wild is a lot like Pokemon, like gotta catch them all. Ooh, I saw the dugong and the manatee, and I saw a Squirtle. And I saw, I don't know, there's no Sharpedo, I think it's a shark Pokemon or some shit. I don't know, man. But yeah, it's just cool to see all these animals just doing their thing out in the wild. Amazing. Amazing. What else did I do? Yes, on the Friday, did a little me time. Did a little healing and relaxation. I went to this beautiful place called Holistica. I think I might have mentioned it last week, but it's a place for spiritual, intentional people. It's a retreat. I don't know. It's purpose built for various modalities around yoga, meditation, mindfulness. I did a Temazcal ceremony, which I'll explain in a sec. But it's this beautifully designed, slow, intentional space. It's very relaxing, very calm, quiet, beautiful natural art, and they're a very spiritual place. So there's a lot of works by Ram Dass around. There's a lot. They sell books from Joe Dispenza in the library or the boutique, right? So they understand that everything is vibrational, everything is energy, and we need to broadcast and find our frequencies and return to our own natural frequencies to radiate things into the world so that we attract them in return. So again, it's beautiful to see these spaces that are being created around, spirituality, the integration of technology. I did my first Kundalini yoga session, which was very nice. Which was led by a teacher and a lady called Prakash. He looks like a guru, he looks like a classic Indian guru, turban, beard. But it's so interesting. Like you think of these places, and you would think they're just like temples, and there's not a lot of technology going on and stuff like that. But it's just so funny to be in this beautiful, beautifully lit, beautifully designed Indian-style yoga hall. And then you walk in, and this guy's sitting on his MacBook. He's like, I'm so bad at replying to messages. And then, like, in Holistica, they've got free Wi-Fi around the whole place. And, there's a lot of connected devices. So it's, again, interesting to see modern technology being integrated with spirituality. And, again, well, it's all technology, right? All technology are tools to solve people problems. So meditation is a tool for the human condition. Mindfulness is a tool for the human condition. Ceremony and cleansing is a tool for the human condition. Just like your iPhones, your laptops, your TVs, your GPS. It's all, again, just here to help serve the people. But and it's also very interesting that Prakash, I got to speak to him, so he's only sort of recently a yogi and teacher, and his, I guess, day job is a web designer. So this guy, because there was this lady that was filming Prakash and his sessions to put up as like digital sessions, like basically what I'm doing, like video courses, and just writing the content, designing the content, and filming it. So this lady, she's just doing the basics of just recording Prakash with like everyone else is doing, like literally with a microphone and a DSLR camera while he's teaching. And then she's like, I don't know how the video work, and it's very, very big file size. I don't know why I'm using that accent with her, because she didn't sound like that at all, but she was like a hot, ditzy, spiritual woman, like I guess like what you would imagine a hippie to be. I don't know, a bit of a bypasser. She's like, I don't like rules. I'm not a woman that likes rules. And I'm like, you sound like a pain in the fucking ass. You might be hot, but you sound like a pain in the ass just by saying that. Good luck to you. But yeah, she knew nothing about how content works. But then Prakash is like, oh, that's all right. There's modules in AWS and presets that you can make. And I was just like, this spiritual guru is just talking about like literally things that I would sell. Like he's like, oh yeah, there's just there'll be some back-end templates and hosting. We'll put it all in the cloud. It'll be fine. And we were talking afterwards. And he's like, yeah, I'm going to redesign Holistica's website. It's not very good. And I was like, you know what? You're actually right. I was looking at it, and it wasn't very well designed, and it does need a bit of work. And he's like, yeah, I'll just take care of it later. And I'm basically building the website from the side, and then I'll just replace the entire thing. I was like, so this guy's a lot like me. He's programming the human condition by day and the human mind, and then he's programming technology by day. And I was like, this is my vibe, man. Like, this is interesting. I get it. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. It's just so nice to be around multi-dimensional people that can integrate technology and spirituality the same way that I can, or at least very interested in. So I did that, and how much time have I done? I want to keep this shorter, punchy enough to check out in like 10 minutes. I've done 30. I'll talk about the Temazcal ceremony for 5 minutes, and then, I'll sort of do some reflections on the next episode of the lessons. So this Temazcal ceremony, this is a cleansing that I did. It's a cleansing ritual, a purification ritual that's been done by the Mayans for a few thousand years now. And I thought it would be good to do it as a bit of my own detoxification. It's considered a form of rebirth because essentially you are put into the mother's womb and are reborn from it again. So let me explain it from end to end. So the Temazcal ceremony, it's a purification ritual that involves the 4 elements: air, water, fire, and earth. You show gratitude to the 4 elements, and then basically you are put in what I can describe as like a stone igloo. Right? So imagine like an igloo setup with like a campfire in the middle. Right? So it's like, a small rock igloo. And basically you go through 4 rounds, of sweat lodge. So you do this initial gratitude ceremony. They have their own form of incense that they put together. And basically, I was in there with a bunch of other people, probably about a dozen of us. They're also interested in this purification ceremony from different backgrounds. There's Americans, there was Brits, there was another younger dude who, with his wife, his pregnant wife, who was also a spiritual dude, healer / yogi, which was pretty cool. And you go through these 4 rounds. So what they do is they heat these rocks, these volcanic rocks, in this gigantic, like a gigantic chimney. So like a big fireplace, and they get these rocks really hot. And basically, they put the rocks inside the middle where the fireplace would be. And basically, it's like a natural sauna. And the intention of this is the heat and the steam is a form of love, right? It's love from the mother. The igloo represents the mother's womb, right? And it's basically from the Pachamama, the great mother. A cleansing and rebirthing and purification ritual where the heat and the challenge of the sweat lodge is about love. It's about surrendering to the love and the medicine that the heat and the fire and the mix of the 4 elements provides. So you go in there with an intention. For me, I'll talk about this more next week, I think, as a bit of a reflection. Again, more anxiety stuff coming up, which I'll talk about next week just because I'm running out of time here. Basically, I've felt a form of anxiety and wounding in my inner chest, which I know is some sort of somatic trauma that I can't seem to release, and it's a constant, and it's right over the heart. Like, imagine just like right next to the sternum. I had this soreness and emptiness for some time now. So it was like, how can I, and I know that anxiety and that pain is from, just like previous trauma of the heart. Maybe it's a lack of love, maybe it's, I don't actually know the actual event itself, but basically I've felt it for some time and I wanted to process this and get out of my system. So that was the intention, is to get the healing for that. And, I think what that damage, that trauma does for me is that it sort of prevents me from closeness to other people, particularly women, the feminine in my life, because it's been dangerous, which I've said in the past. So you go through these 4 stages, and basically the first stage, they put a little bit of rock in there. They have these buckets of water that are infused with mint, rosemary, and something else. And basically, so it's like this healing this healing tea, but that what they do is they throw that on the hot rocks to create the steam. And basically, in this igloo, they close the entrance off, so it's almost completely pitch dark. All you can see is the hot glow of the coals, and we're basically sitting in this igloo, and we're doing chants, traditional chants. And there is I think there's a special name for it, Temazcalito or something like that. I just made that up. But basically, there is a facilitator of this. So he's leading the chants. He's guiding us through the process. He's an interesting dude, a pretty cool dude. So you go through one round, didn't feel too bad. Was it hot? Yes. Steamy? Yeah. But nothing that wasn't too much outside of a sauna, a regular sauna. Then we take a little break. Maybe like, I think the whole process lasts about an hour and a half. Maybe it's like 10 minutes, these increments. First round, chants. Steam. Open up, take a little break, a little bit of water. And then the next round, more rocks go in, more steam is thrown, more chants, right? So, and it's loud because it's just blocked off, and the sound's just reverberating. So you're just it is an experience because you're just having all these chants just reverberating in you in the pure darkness and then in the heat, right? So I guess that would in a way represent the mother's womb. And the idea is to focus on that pain and focus on the heat, the purification. What does it teach you? What is these messages from the Great Mother? What is it teaching you about this pain that you were trying to heal? And what is the answer to this? And what is the insight you were trying to gain? And you're in the heat and in the immersion of the experience, you do get those insights. And I even, during the second and third rounds, I started to even visualize my grandmothers, who I've known, didn't know too well, but even visualized them and sort of felt them, come through. And then there was second round, again, more heat, more chanting. Third round, more rocks, more heat, more chanting. And by the third round, I'm starting to feel a lot of that energy process through my body and sadness and sort of move through my body and come out of me somatically, right? Literally like trying to shake off something inside me. I've done this many times, so it doesn't feel weird and different to me. I just sort of lean into it and surrender to this moment, these moments that, again, of processing, of energy, of damage, emotional damage moving through the body. And then by the fourth session, like it's a real test and it's fucking real hot in there. And even more so, I felt the fourth one is about the masculine and where are the masculine wounds that you would need to process. So there was a lot of repressed anger about my father and reparenting myself and sort of living away from his expectations and becoming my own man. And again, to just purge through anger. And I didn't scream. And they said, look, if you have to scream, you have to cry, do it, right? Get this energy out, which I totally agree with, right? This is a non-judgmental space to do so. So, but I certainly, again, just felt this rage emanate through me and this anger emanate through me. And I was screaming without making noise, essentially. And so, again, I'm just like channeling this anger, getting it out of my system, or I'm just surrounded by heat and sweat and pressure and chanting. It's a pretty tough experience. It's definitely challenging. And then once the fourth session is done, you get out, you recover for a bit, you show gratitude to the Great Mother, Abuelita and Abuelito, for the experience, and you sort of come back to earth. You get some water, you rehydrate, you eat fruit, you dip in the water, they have like a pool for you to dip in to wash all the sweat off. And it's a very connected experience, right? Like, the people that I was with, it's very vulnerable. You do share what you are trying to heal from, in this circle. And these are complete strangers to me, but by the end we were hugging, really connected, really beautiful experience. Like we're all here, trying to realign our spirits. We understand that there's a great beyond and there's this great power. And, to go through this vulnerable and challenging experience together as a collective. You move past the judgments of others and you see each other as souls and the collective of humanity. It's a beautiful thing. beautiful thing, you know? Just hugging strangers, feeling that heart-centered connection. Right, and I know it sounds esoteric and weird as shit for a lot of you people that might be out there, but it's really worth it, man. This is the first time I've done any of my traumatic cleansing work as a group. And I would do more of it. I think there's so much power in the vulnerability of the collective and going through this shared experience that you just don't get by doing the work on your own. So yeah, really grateful for it. You know, I definitely felt this energy cleanse, this purification come through. And yeah, really grateful for that experience. The repercussions and the downstream effects of that yet to be seen. There's some integration that needs to happen. You do notice minor shifts in your perception afterwards that I certainly notice, which again I'll talk about next week because I'm very short on time. I've got to check out. I've got to check out now, basically. But yeah, man, a real cleansing experience. I might wrap up and reflect on my trip in next week's episode. And we'll be launching. I'll be launching Tech Sales OS that week as well. So basically, I'm from here now. I have to go to Mexico City, stay there for a night in transit, then fly back to Melbourne. I'm back in Melbourne on the 24th. And then from the 24th to the 5th, I've got content coming out, and I'm going to be making some fucking noise on the internet, ladies and gentlemen, to launch Tech Sales OS. It is time. I'm excited. This thing is going to be a tremendous success. I am convinced of it. One of the beautiful things that I've taken away from this is I've already won. I have already won. It's just a matter of getting to that finish line and transitioning into this new life. It's a beautiful, wonderful thing. And I'm glad that you are a part of it. That's it for this week, folks. You know where to find me. If you want to know more about these modalities, please reach out. Email me, DM me. You know where to find me. Love yous all. See you in Melbourne next week. Ciao for now.